Welcome back to another episode of the Ark Survival Guide. Today I'm going to show you how to build a base on top of a Paracer platform saddle. We tamed this Paracer last episode, and today we're going to be building a mining platform on top of her back. Now, I'll give you a quick sneak preview on why we are doing this. If you take a look here, we are just destroying all the boulders around. We can just mine through crazy amounts of rock in no time at all. You can get about 1,000 stone per minute if you really get this going well. So this is why it's going to be worth it, and on the next episode we'll show you actually how to mine with this. But today we are just going to be building the very basics of the mining platform, and later we'll actually build a full fortress around her. So the first step, we are putting the platform saddle on the Paracer, and that's going to be big enough that we can even land our Pteranodon on top there. It's pretty big even without any foundations on it. But as you can see, we have this really nice saddle on top. It costs a lot of materials to make. We actually needed about 50 pearls and lots of other stuff in order to make this. So we got a good experience boost when we did, and we actually crafted it while we were taming her. I'm going to give her a little extra stamina, maybe some weight actually. Yeah, I'll give her some weight first. So we're going to be boosting mostly movement speed and weight so that she can carry heavier dinosaurs and get more minerals on her while we're actually doing that. But for starters, I'm going to give her a little weight and stamina just so we can get that boosted up and get her just enough to get by, because it's wears her out pretty fast just to sprint from place to place, and she's crazy slow when she's not actually sprinting. We'll have a little quick trick for that later on too. But the sun is actually getting kind of low in the sky here, so in order to make this platform we're going to need to make a lot of materials. We made a lot of the components of this platform while we were taming her, but I'm just going to skip ahead on into the night while we're actually making the rest of the components we needed. And it got really cold at night here. We have our ghillie suit, which is great for hot climates, but it's actually pretty bad for keeping us warm. So I'm going to go ahead and craft some fur gloves out of that pelt that we've picked up from some of the horses that our turrets shot down. So at least we've got some hypothermic protection. And once we put these gloves on, you'll notice we are no longer cold. So that's going to help us a lot through the night. And here we are back in the morning. We just started another beautiful day here in the Redwoods. And we've got most of the materials that we need to actually build this saddle now. So I'm just going to hit triangle to hop on top of the saddle. And it brings you up immediately, like 4 stories up in the air. So you can actually take some serious fall damage just from jumping off. And I'm going to try to line up this thatch foundation. I always start with thatch while I'm getting things lined up because you can easily just demolish and remake a thatch foundation. It's very low material cost. So we're just going to kind of use that as a guideline. And it's really hard for me to see where the edge of that little post is sticking down. Yeah, I think I'm going to need to move this Paracer in order to be able to see what I'm doing here, just because the sun is kind of shining in my eyes here. But normally what I'll do is line this up so it's just barely sticking off the platform. Yeah, I can't really see with that. Hold on one second here. Alright, let's just turn her just a tiny bit, and we should actually be able to see what we're doing now. There we go. Okay, so we're just kind of drawing an imaginary line out from that little foundation post sticking down, and we want to line the edge up with that. So we're going to look straight down the back of her neck, and that looks just about in line with the middle of the platform there. So we're going to see if these posts are sticking out about the same distance on each side. And this is looking pretty straight. It doesn't have to be absolutely perfect, but if you start your foundations just kind of off, it's going to look worse as you go. But that looks pretty good. Yeah, that's actually just about perfect for that saddle. So I think we're gonna stick with that configuration. So the next thing we need to do, now that we've got some thatch foundations down, is we want to actually extend this saddle to be larger. And you can't snap foundations directly off of other foundations, they just won't go. So what we're going to do is we have a little workaround. We're going to place some ceilings snapped off the side of those foundations. And we will actually be able to place stone foundations snapped onto the bottom of the ceilings. And while we're up here, I will go ahead and replace all of the thatch foundations with stone. We want this to be nice and sturdy and give her some protection from the air, just in case something pounces on top of this little platform. She won't have anything attacking her from the top. And the other thing is we're going to be building out from these foundations at the top of this. Yeah, there, it takes a lot of fall damage when I jump down. It's like a third of my health. So as you can see, we can actually snap the foundations onto the bottom of those ceilings from down here. Now I'm going to purposely leave that other foundation as a thatch foundation with nothing attached to it, and I'll show you why in just a second here. It seems like whenever I hop on top here, I have to actually jump to get out from the foundations now that those are up there. So now I'm going to be holding down triangle and demolishing all of these thatch foundations just because we no longer need these ceilings here to hold these in place. And you'll see that they're actually suspended and locked in place now. So this last piece I left the way it is. We're going to go ahead and demolish that now that it's not holding anything up. I want to be able to touch that saddle so that I can actually use it to ride this Paracer. And if I cover it completely without any way to access that saddle, I can't actually jump down and start driving this thing. But by using a stone hatch frame like this, we have a little gateway that we can use to open up and then look down into the saddle and be able to actually ride this thing. And I'll go ahead and close that so it's totally secure. We may also park some dinosaurs on top of this later, so that'll make it a nice little spot. They won't get stuck. And we'll be able to just hop down through there. So I'm going to grab some more materials. I'm doing this in little spurts because I can only carry so many materials here. So we're just going to grab a little bit more thatch here. And I think we're going to need a couple more thatch ceilings so that we can extend out some more foundations. So we're just going to hop right back on top here. It always feels so weird. You just click on the thing's leg and then all of a sudden you're 3 stories tall on top of the back. I don't really understand it, but once again, arc physics, a little bit crazy sometimes. So I'm going to extend these ceilings 2 ceilings out at the very back, and then we will actually place some stone foundations underneath them. And I'm going to have to eat a little bit too so we don't starve to death. But as you can see there, this won't snap onto the side, but it will snap right underneath that thatch foundation. And we will go ahead and demolish that so we've got just the stone sticking out. And I'm going to add one more ceiling here because we want this to stick out by 2. I was thinking of just making this 1 ramp wide, but I'll go ahead and build the second ramp just to make it so we don't have to come back. We'll just do the whole platform all at once. So if I can get that to snap properly, there we go. So now we have 2 foundations sticking out to the side, and this is going to serve as the base. We're going to build a ramp going all the way down. There we go. Whoop, nope, I did actually take some fall damage. I was thinking I may have actually made it through without taking fall damage, but there we go, we did actually take some. So I should have some wooden ramps that we crafted, and there we are. We finally used up most of our materials here that we've made beforehand. So these ramps are actually going to serve as a way for the Doedicurus to stand on, and it will also be able to get up to the top of this platform that way in case we want to just carry it around safely. So I'm going to snap these ramps off to the side of those stones, and we're just going to go ahead and extend those down as far as we can, hopefully down to the ground. We may need one more ramp after this, because that is a very tall Paracer. Yep, looks like we need one more ramp. So we will be right back. I'm just going to craft a couple more ramps here. So we've got some more wooden ramps, and I'm going to go ahead and extend this a little bit further. So at this point, we can actually walk our Doedicurus up the ramp, and if he's standing just a little ways off the ground up that ramp, he will actually be able to grab stone and we can just carry him around and get him to run into boulders. So there's that last little finishing touch. We just drop the last ramp down there. And now we have a fully functional large ramp that we can use to get on and off of here. The next thing we need to add are some Plant Species X turrets. I always love putting these things on mobile bases because they just destroy everything around. I've only got 2 on my raft, and that's been enough to keep us safe and just mow down whatever's bothered us. So when I've got these on land, we'll just be able to go pretty much anywhere on the map pretty safely, and these Plant Species X turrets will just be mowing things down. So you can only craft them in large crop plots. And I'm dropping some fertilizer in here. We have a dung beetle factory inside our raft. We've got 4 dung beetles constantly converting any droppings into fertilizer. And then we're putting 1 Plant Species X seed in there. We're dropping our water flask into the soil, and then we're using right trigger to actually use the water flask. And now that it's got some water in there, you can see that Plant Species X turret just sprouted, and it's going to continue growing from this point on. As soon as you have the fertilizer, seed, and water in there, it'll start growing from there. Now they take a very long time to grow, so I want to get them started as soon as possible. And I went ahead and parked this ramp close to the water so that we can go up and down pretty quickly. So it hasn't rained yet. It's not rained for a little while, so I'm just going to manually add water to this. You can't really irrigate crops if you're doing this on a saddle, so that's pretty much it. So now we have a fully functional mining platform on top of this Paracer. And on the next episode, I'll show you how to actually use this to get ridiculous amounts of stone and metal while you're just mining around the map. And we are no longer limited to the ocean. We can access this safely from the top. So that's going to provide a really good basis for the fortress we're going to make on this back also. So tune in next time and we'll show you this crazy gathering trick that will help you get thousands of stone in no time at all. Thanks for watching. Thanks so much for watching our video from the Ark Survival Guide. This is an amazing game, and it's sometimes really hard to learn how to survive, but we are dedicated to teaching you how to not just survive, but how to thrive and have lots of fun on this amazing game. So we have a series for just a Let's Play, so you can watch how we've conquered this vast open world. And we also have a guide series with specific guides on how to do certain things that are a little bit more confusing or difficult on this game. So be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. We are constantly creating new videos for you to enjoy. So you can travel through your journey on Ark with us and learn how to do everything you need to know to survive in this game. So thanks for watching, and we will continue to bring you great content that is suitable for the entire family, except maybe the occasional dinosaur poop. What can you do? This is Ark. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you soon on the next video.